Hey, what are you doing?
Multitasking. While I'm talking to you, I'm also running a bunch of programs, doing a virus scan, and downloading a movie, all at the same time.
Wow, just don't forget to breathe.
New Intel Centrino 2.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Brown. Welcome to the UBU Network podcast. As always, we want to encourage everyone to make each day a better day. Dawn talks about the impact of pop culture on the election process, once again gives us useful tech tips, and Dr. Kyle talks about something not so smart. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Is it true that by beholding we become changed? Let's see what Dawn has to say. Back in a moment.
In order for things to work, it doesn't mean it has to have an uncomfortable feeling.
Crest Pro Health kills 99% of germs that can cause gingivitis, plaque, and bad breath without the burn of alcohol.
It really feels like it's working without the burning.
Crest Pro Health Rinse.
This presidential election is guaranteed to make history regardless of who is elected. Americans will either choose the first African American president or the first female vice president. Still, neither Senator Obama nor Governor Palin are the first to tap on that glass ceiling. Remember Shirley Chisholm? She was the first major party African American candidate for President of the United States, earning 152 first ballot votes at the 72 Democratic National Convention. Jesse Jackson ran in 1984 and Al Sharpton tried in 2004. And let's not forget Geraldine Ferrara, Walter Mondale's running mate in 1984.
Let me just say, first of all, that I almost resent Vice President Bush, your patronizing attitude that you have to teach me about foreign policy. I've been a member of Congress for 6 years. I was there when the embassy was held hostage in Iran, and I have been there and I have seen what has happened in the past several months, 17 months with your administration. Secondly, please don't categorize my answers either. Leave the interpretation of my answers to the American people who are watching this debate.
The dramatic failure of these early attempts sent a clear message. America was not ready for a woman, nor an African American in the White House. So what about the past 20 years has made America so ready for change? Maybe Hollywood can take a little credit for changing public perception. In the past, Hollywood's images of blacks were mostly limited to pimps and gangsters in movies like Colors, or, at best, the ignorant but noble Celie in The Color Purple. Women were mothers, wives, and secretaries, but never a president. But over the past 2 decades, we've seen Morgan Freeman and Dennis Haysbert play exceptional African-American presidents in the movie Deep Impact and on Fox TV's 24. Gina Davis played Mackenzie Allen, a strong Republican woman president on ABC's Commander-in-Chief, and Glenn Close was the pragmatic vice president in the film Air Force One. We won't know until November 4th who Americans will choose to support, but let's hope that our choice, whoever it is, will be elected because of their plans to end the war in Iraq, stop the bleeding in the economy at home, and reduce our dependence on foreign oil, not based on race or gender. Check the show notes for more information on the early pioneers of diversity in politics and links to get your own copy of some of the greatest movies featuring women and African Americans in powerful roles. Here's my tech tip for today. Major cities across the nation are passing laws prohibiting the use of mobile phones without the use of a hands-free device. In other words, don't get caught holding your phone to your ear. It's a ticket you can easily avoid. Check the show notes for my list of Bluetooth headsets, hands-free kits for your car, and some price-conscious wired sets too. Until next time, I'm Dawn Whitaker.
Stay tuned as Dr. Kyle discusses the dumbing down of America. Coming up next.
Indulge in rich caramels, chocolates, and mochas, guilt-free, with Natural Instincts. It's antioxidant-rich color, and the more often you use it, the healthier your hair looks. So you can satisfy your craving for color every month. Natural Instincts from Clairol, naturally.
Hi, I'm Dr. James Kyle. Recently, Charlotte Thomas Iserbyt published an impressive work entitled The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America. Her premise is that for many decades now, the American education system has focused on training our youth to be an efficient and compliant workforce for major corporations. Critical thinking has been discouraged because such free thought would question the obvious and wouldn't blindly reverence authority. The impact of this strategy is greatly apparent in our society. Our nation's colleges and universities struggle to remediate high school graduates in basic English, math, and writing. And now, in the aftermath of this utilitarian assault on the minds of our children, the achievement gap has only grown wider, especially for our nation's urban minority students. Left unchallenged, our educational enterprise would leave countless thousands of children stranded in an obsolescent wasteland, unprepared, unable to compete, and hopelessly detoured from the pathway to excellence. No, until we can fundamentally change our nation's education system, we must teach our children to rise above it. We must inoculate them from the viral mediocrity that has infected our schools. We must liberate them from the tyranny of consensus theory that prohibits and extinguishes individual initiative. Churches, Boys and Girls Clubs, and other community organizations must stand with our parents to assure that our children can read, write, and compute at or above grade level. We all need to take Board of Education elections very seriously. We must demand what some have labeled unreasonable, that our schools actually provide an education for our children. The longer we remain dumb, the sooner we cease to exist. I'm Dr. James Kyle.
Thanks so much for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed our podcast as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Remember, worry about the consequences of the choices you make before you make them, not afterward. Until next time, I'm Cynthia Brown.